GM everyone. Today is March 21st, 2022, and it's time for the weekly upsprint. First up, we have Donna and support. GM Donna.
Hello and GM everybody. Um, for support stats last week, we had 220 new tickets. This is an 18% increase from last week's report and a 20% increase from the past 8-week average. Full resolution median time is currently up to 2 hours this week. First reply median time is at 31 minutes, and 62% of the tickets were resolved in one touch. Total solved tickets is at 217, which is 14% more than last week's report. And then other support updates. Two mobile app users are affected with a staking and unstaking issue. We've provided them the workaround to do so via Portis in the meantime. And then a new error was reported by a user today where he cannot send ETH on the beta web platform. We will observe and report on the triage thread if more users experience the issue. In the meantime, we've also directed the user to use app.shapeshift.com and was able to successfully send ETH there. And then lastly, we're happy to share that our Trust Pilot scores has moved from 3.7 to 4 stars, and this is largely because of the campaign that our team has been working on. Recent positive reviews by customers say they're quite happy with the speed and quality of the support we provide. And then we also have some key users really happy with the support they've received in resolving troubleshooting issues they experienced. That's it for me, and have a great week, everybody.
Thank you so much for those updates, Donna, and for passing those workarounds along to the users. Next up, we have growth and globalization. I believe Toasty should be here. Uh, I'm not seeing Toasty yet, so I will just go ahead and read that. Success Token PR launch. Latam is getting back from E3O and holding regularly scheduled meetings and calls again. The education team is working with um, Share soft launch and testing. Fingers crossed. Numerous inbound partnerships, discussion requests, and coverage. Continued Meta Factory discussion and call this week to discuss and finalize designs. And then the renewal proposal drafting. And that is it for growth and globalization. Next up, we have Pete Coin and marketing. GM.
GM Ron, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you, PTT. All right. For marketing, the data revamp that we started last week is now complete. The staking dashboard now has curve assets tracked, and the internal marketing data is all updated with visuals. That can all be seen on the marketing Notion. Just go to the homepage. There's a tracking section. Lobby.so is also live. Sent a link to our homepage there, and the team will continue uploading documentation that makes sense for that as we move forward. Big shout out to H Pain. I'm so sorry. I was staring at his name and blanking on it at the same time. I feel foolish. Big shout out to H Pain to remaining on top of that. Many people may not know that lobby.so was down for over a week and a half. We tried starting this 2 weeks ago, and H Pain stayed on top of it until it pushed through. So big shout out to him. The DNA of Shapeshift content story is continuing through Shalisi and her connections. GM Crypto Mag. GM indeed. And then marketing continues to be ready for Foxy, Cosmos, Gem, and more. And then we are continuing the pursuit of multimedia content based off of our existing and future written content. And hopefully we will see some of our first contract assignments. Not contract as in a contract between us and them. Contract as in like a unique one-off event. And that will hopefully be done this week. GM, everybody.
GM, and I hope your puppy's doing better. I know last week you had that emergency.
Thank you, sir. No, everything was totally fine. And of course, when you bring them to the vet, everything is totally okay. So, just is what it is.
Just faking it to get the day off of school.
Yeah, yep. I sent her to school anyway, though. I'm a terrible dad. Have a good one,
Awesome.
guys.
Thank you, Vcoin. Next up, we have Jankin in the Mod Squad. GM Jankin.
GM. So far we have the new member ads for the week. 7 days was 51. For 14 days was 69. Our largest raid to date now, March 16th, was 199. We keep growing. That's sort of good, right? The Discord welcome rooms, starter rooms, they've been all embedded, so it makes them look a little different. Sai was working on that, and we had a little bit of wordage updates from Willie. Thanks, Willie. And that's all I have. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Jankin. And I think the raids mean that we're growing strong. So next up, we have Product and Diggy. GM Diggy.
Jim. Happy Monday, everybody. There's a lot going on this week. As you guys probably already know, there's a gem launch today, finally. Yay! And then Pendo, we got set up last week, at the end of last week with Mr. Nerdhair. Beard has been going in and customizing the UI to match our styles for the guides. There's an early go, no go for this on Friday, where we're just kind of going to talk through all the pieces of that and then figure out who's going to own what. There's some training involved in getting those guides set up. So we're hopefully going to have some stakeholders across a few work streams be involved in that. We are making some updates to shapeshift.com. One of those is a buy crypto page. The one that's there is outdated, so we're updating that to include the information about GEM. And then working on a new developer portal. Again, what's there is outdated and left over from centralized Shapeshift and no longer relevant to the DAO. Cosmos, obviously, that's a big priority for everybody this week. And then we have our product office hours on Thursday. So just a reminder for anybody who wants to attend that. And then we have a review later today with engineering and ops to go over the next pieces in flight and current pieces in flight and just kind of aligning on priorities with some smaller and larger projects going forward. And that's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Diggy. Next up, we have DeFi Cafe and Engineering. GM DeFi.
GM. All right, so this week, Cosmos base functionality. So when we say base functionality, we mean sends, receive, transaction history, and market data. We've got a self-imposed deadline of Thursday for that one. So we've got everything plumbed through the stack. We're able to do sends through the platform now, just getting things working nicely with feature flagging and ironing out any last bugs. New transaction history page went in last week and is working really nicely. So if you want to check that out, there's an export there as well. If you want to add more different types of transaction parsing, PRs are welcome, and it's a very nice starting point to get involved with stuff. I think as Diggy mentioned, GEM is going live today, which is our fiat ramp for the platform. So we'll be turning that feature flag on. There's a new settings page coming as well, which is really cool. It hides like light and dark mode. It's going to have language and currency selection when we get some fixes in there, but it's also got like a low balance threshold for assets. So lots of other little bits and pieces. And last week, 88 PRs across 4 repos. We have 1 new contributor, 9 bounties created, and 4 successfully closed. So engineering's getting back in the groove of things. And yeah, like once the Cosmos functionality is out, we're kind of going to circle up with product and look at some other things that aren't all one Epic related. So that's pretty much the update from engineering.
Awesome. Thank you so much, DeFi. Next up, we have Mr. Nerdhair and Security. GM, Mr. Nerdhair.
GM all. This week, primary concerns are the Foxy security review. I believe that the audit is coming back on from the third-party external people is coming back on Wednesday, and then we have a few days after that to make any changes that we need to and get them to review those. We'll also be coordinating with engineering this week on how to proceed with the alpha deployment. The product team has a staging environment to start work, but we still have to, integrate alpha into our usual build systems and so forth. This week, I'm launching a sort of beta issue here, or beta version here of a new security dashboard that will help track issues and integrate, with engineering and other work streams more closely. You can file issues in shapeshift/security if you want us to do a thing for you. And this is a work in progress. Please, feedback, very welcome. But that's about it from us.
Awesome, thanks so much. If you could give a link to that maybe somewhere, so that way
I'll
people can
drop it
take
in
a
the
look.
chat. The confidential things from the responsible disclosure program all have cool names like Operation Fuzzy Pillow or something. I'm very proud of it.
Awesome, can't wait to check it out. Thanks, Mr. Nerdhair. Next up, we have Tyler in operations. GM Tyler.
GM Fox fam. For this week from operations, on the triage report, we had 2 issues reported this week, no prod issues. 0 of those resolved. We actually have 1 issue that just got reported that we're fixing right now with beta, but that should be resolved momentarily. So we will reach out to support when that's fixed and updated. Ron here hosting our call is going to be our release lead for the week on Tuesday and Thursday. We're going to be hopefully flipping the switch for Gem going live at 11 today. That'll be nice to have and good to have over in marketing and growth's hands so they can tell the world about that. If you haven't tested it, you can test it behind the feature flags beforehand or else test it after we go live with it if you'd like to try and make a purchase or a sale. We've got some Goat No Goats. Goatapalooza is just going to keep on trucking along. We've got Cosmos Go No Go today. I believe our Foxy Go No Go is going to be on Wednesday. And then we've got Pendo and App on IPFS on Friday. So lots of busy things going on, spinning lots of plates. We'd love to have your attendance at all of these Go No Go's if you are a stakeholder involved or you'd like to be informed about any of these individual projects. And then we've got a continuation of the Thor conversation that we had on Friday. That's actually going to be needs to be updated to 2:30 today to talk about the fix, what needs to go into it, how we can get it up as soon as possible, and where we need to fix it at. So if you were involved with that conversation on Friday or you'd like to get updates about what's going on, that will be in the engineering public chat later today at 2:30. So that's it from us and GMO.
GM Tyler, thanks for those updates. Next up, we have Kent in Tokenomics. How are you, Kent?
Good, Ron. How was your weekend?
It was good. How can't wait for spring. So
Yeah, amen to that. Here in Denver, the weather has been very schizophrenic, and today it's chilly, but I think it'll get nicer. So yeah, we have some cool stuff going on in tokenomics. With respect to the work stream itself, time really flies, but the work stream got kicked off via governance approval in November, really started in earnest in December. So it's been about 4 months of this. The original proposal outlined the work stream through the end of this month, so it's time to articulate kind of what's going to happen next. I've been working on a kind of a next phase proposal that I'll be posting today or tomorrow, so look forward to that. Just kind of outlining next steps and thoughts around that, as well as budgetary stuff. In terms of our Angel Vault, one really interesting thing, and I'll highlight this more tomorrow during our tokenomics call, but a few weeks ago, Willie was able to find an interesting ARB opportunity in our Angel Vault, and essentially what it's done is given us a small amount of profits when we execute this, but more importantly, we're able to sell a meaningful amount of Fox for USDC without impacting the broader market, negatively impacting price. Our last ARB netted us about like $86,000. So of course, this directly helps our broader goal of building a larger stack of stable coins. Right now, I think we're about 3.5 million. There is some thought that we could even increase that by putting more in the Angel Vault. And this also kind of revolves around an interesting idea from last week that we covered during the workstream chat about protocol owned liquidity in that context. So if you want some context on that, check out the discussion in public tokenomics. And again, we'll dig into that more tomorrow. We also are going to be trying to finalize what to do with our remaining success tokens. Willie might speak to that as well shortly here. But the thought is we could sell them on Uniswap within a tight range. The TMDC will need to approve that. And then lastly, in the wake of its successful approval, VFox is getting up and running. We've had some initial formative meetings. I'm going to be writing a blog post, kind of outlining, just explaining to the world basically what this is. And then, of course, Willie and John are on that committee as well, and we're all just kind of figuring out initial steps for launch. But that's going to be a very exciting component of the DAO moving forward. So yeah, that's it for now. But I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Awesome. Can't wait for tomorrow's meeting. Next up, we got Willie and Ocean for the Fox Foundation.
GM Ron, GM Ocean.
Yo, happy Monday, everyone.
Happy Monday. I'm back in Colorado. Just got back from ETH Austin, so better to get back into action. It was a pretty awesome trip, but don't feel the FOMO. You guys didn't miss out on too much. If you were at ETH Denver was a much bigger conference, but still was awesome to be down there and have a ShapeShift presence. And yeah, had a lot of really good conversations. So this week for Fox Foundation, not necessarily Fox Foundation related, but just wanted you guys to know that we will be announcing the Fox Success Token sale this week. Plan is to send that out to publications tomorrow morning under embargo. And we're planning to make that a really big announcement. Props to Lindsay for and the UMA team for working together to really make sure that we get a lot of awareness from that. And of course, as a reminder, we'll be announcing that Coinbase and Chapter 1 participated in that round. And depending on this TMDC vote that Kent mentioned, we may be announcing that there are success tokens available on Uniswap v3. So pending a TMDC vote, we may deposit about $500,000 worth of these success tokens onto a Uniswap v3 pool on a range from about 35.5 cents USDC to 42 cents USDC. So a little bit the same price that we sold to investors, and then a range a little bit higher, and then see what happens. We can continue pitching to strategic investors, but it'll also be available to anybody, including everyone on this call. So stay tuned for that. Fingers crossed that TMDC gives us approval there. Also this week, we're going to be updating the Fox and Friends Rari pool. We're making a few changes. This is our pool where you can use Fox as collateral, borrow multiple different assets, and it's adminned by the DAO. So the DAO is going to go in and add Fox ETH LP. This is something that TMDC approved a while ago. We just haven't executed yet, but you'll be able to use Fox ETH liquidity pool tokens as collateral. We're not going to enable it for borrowing, just for supplying. We're also going to add the Angel Vault LP tokens for supply, so you'll be able to use your Angel Vault LP as collateral. And this is something that we learned from Ichi. It's been working really well for them. It's enabled all of their one uni Angel Vault LP holders to basically go leverage long in the Angel Vault. And it's proven to be a really effective strategy to increase the TVL in the Angel Vault. So we're going to be adding that also just for on the supply side. We'll add one Fox for supply and borrow. And the plan is to incentivize Angel LP deposits because those already have some incentives. We're allocating 1.5 million Fox incentives to Angel Vault LP deposits on the Rari pool for about 4.5 months, lining up the timing with the existing reward program for the Angel Vault LP. So again, really excited to get that program going and then see how much we can increase the Angel Vault TVL by that. As a reminder, if we get just a little bit more in our Angel Vault, I think we have to get to 6.5% liquidity in the Angel Vault of our total Fox market cap. Ichi will add 3.5% of our market cap in one Fox to the Angel Vault. So I'm really excited and appreciative of that. And we're hopeful that with this strategy of adding those Fox incentives, we should be able to get to the threshold that Ichi wants to see before they add the remaining 3.5% of our market cap to the Angel Vault. As Kent mentioned, we're setting up VFox. The plan is to announce and launch this the first week of April. Had a lot of great combos with cool projects in Austin, as well as other venture groups, and they're really excited to hear about VFox. And a lot of the venture groups like Binance and Olympus are interested in co-investing with us. So looking forward to sharing some deal flow. Also, yeah, they're really excited about just the strategic value add that ShapeShift DAO can offer to projects that we partner with. And then last thing I got is that we're meeting today, this afternoon, to discuss foundation formation. So fingers crossed for some good news. As a reminder, we're still in the process of forming the foundation. There's been a lot of bureaucracy and hoops to jump through. So today we're getting an update on how that hoop jumping's going. So really hope that we have some good news to share with you guys next week with more kind of some more certainty around the launch timeline. Ocean, what I miss?
I love the hoop jumping. Just since DeFi didn't highlight it, I'll show the engineering workstream forum. There was 88 PRs across 4 repos, and you guys can see the rest of the stats there in the sheet. But that does represent the highest number of PRs per week that we've had since the tracking has begun. Not that metrics really capture all of the development progress, but when they line up with kind of anecdotal feel of the velocity of the workstream increasing and a bunch of features going out, I think we can feel pretty good about what we're seeing, both from the metrics and kind of just the velocity of the team. So some cool stuff to report, and congrats to the engineering workstream.
Awesome. Thank you both
That's
for those
all I got.
updates. If anyone in the audience has anything they would like to bring up, now is the time, or else we can give everyone a few minutes back and wish everyone a great GM.
Thanks, PTT.
Thanks, Ocean. Thanks, Willie.
Thank you. GM, everyone.
GM, everyone. Have a great day.